Hi guys, it's Jane Celia, Targeted Shaman. Wow, I do look tired tonight. I am. I've been doing okay though. I haven't been getting hit too bad. I have some reasons that I think that might be the case, but I won't go into it tonight. Um, so I'm going to smudge myself. I'm calling the good spirits, the healing and protective and compassionate angels, and we're going to eliminate negative energy. I'm going to do that to everybody watching. Just open up to your higher self and align with the concept of letting go of all. Okay, I guess we're back online. So I wanted to clarify, I was talking about spiritual protection this week in my YouTube, and that's exactly what it is spiritual protection. When you're calling in God or Jesus or Archangel Michael or your power animals, spirit guides, that's spiritual protection. And that's a whole different ballgame than physical protection. And they don't necessarily, one doesn't negate the need for the other. They just work with each other to provide complete protection. Because as I said in my other video, there's a spiritual war going on, and that's half of targeting, is how we're being targeted by a satanic cult. I mean, what else could it be? Do you know any normal human being that would target innocent people? Do you know any normal person in the military that would do that? No, the military, most of them don't know what's going on. It's an elite aspect of, the military and the politicians and the world leaders and the Five Eyes, as Dr. Horton calls it. London, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the U.S., which are the highest population of targeted people. And she also outlined, and I believe too, that the Illuminati are basically psychopathic, which means there's no sense of morality, there's no empathy, and there's no sense of responsibility. So the very top of all these institutions, there's psychopathy and I believe Satanism. So what I was talking about in my past post on spirit is spiritual protection. So tonight I was going to talk a little bit about physical protection from directed energy weapons. And I'm very grateful for the techno crime fighters. They've disassembled now, but that was Dr. Horton, Romola D, Karen Melton Stewart, and Millicent Black. And there were 4 women that got together and started to talk about being targeted. And it's from them I learned how to protect myself. And the directed energy weapons have been about 3 years now. And I really did not know what was happening to me. I was sick all the time. I had pneumonia twice. I had the flu. I thought I had diabetes. I thought I had all these stomach issues, my stomach. I had no idea because I'm pretty healthy. I'm a vegetarian. I take a lot of herbs. I've just all my life done natural. I don't take any medicines. Everything I do is natural. So it's like, what was happening? And it was Dr. Horton that started to describe, symptoms of radiation poisoning, sleeplessness, like almost a sense of being tortured, like with, REM deprivation and disorientation, just the whole gamut of radiation poison. I'm like, oh my God, this is happening to me. And that's when I woke up to the whole thing, the whole 10-year span. And I will post under this. I wrote out my story. Romola D also did an interview with me, which I'll eventually post, about my story, how my gang stalking and directed energy weapons situation began. So anyway, after I realized what was going on, thank God I started to shield. And, Dr. Horton was this extremely intelligent, articulate, wonderful woman. And, if she was putting tinfoil hat on, then so could I, So I started to protect myself at night, especially. And Karen Melton Stewart said 12 layers of metal. is what you need. And she was a whistleblower, I think, Department of Justice or Department of Defense. She actually revealed what was really going on with some troops and how they were being set up. And of course, she got the sack. And I probably said it all wrong, Karen, but she's a really renowned whistleblower and target now. Anyway, she said 12 layers of metal or aluminum. And so I started protecting myself as much as I could, especially at night, because they're more apt, for me anyway, they're more apt to hit at night. And I think a lot of people when you're the most vulnerable. So windows, I used to sleep next to windows. That doesn't happen anymore. So windows, you're the most vulnerable. The radiation can be brought in through somehow. And again, the technology they're revealing to the public, they're about 200 years ahead. So everything we're experiencing, they don't even know about yet. It's starting to leak out. So it can go under your bed too. And Karen suggested mirrors. So I've done that. I don't know how, I guess there's target individual talks about remote neuromonitoring and is how you're being hit. And I don't really understand that. I have, my experience has been with a drone and that it follows me. It will follow me. I had another house for a while that I stayed at and it would follow me back and forth. It didn't always shoot. Sometimes it shot. And I know that's the case with a lot of people. I went to Sacramento recently. I was able to leave okay from the airport, which is unusual, no problems. I landed at Sacramento, California. I looked out the window of the plane and I saw, the drone. They had probably caught up with me to San Francisco. Part of that reason is I didn't take my battery out. I did put my battery back in my phone because I had, people trying to get a hold of me, and I just, you forget you're a target every once in a while, and like you're a normal person, you could have your battery in your phone. So I think that's pretty much when they caught up with me, and I did see it when I was landing. I was like, there it is. I told my daughter when I got in the car, and she's very polite about it and nice, and they're a little skeptical, but anyway, and yeah, they do hit harder when I travel. And so this time when I got back, I had to do a clearing on my breasts especially, and I wanted to focus for women. Like if you're a target, you should be detoxing your breast area because mammary glands, they hold on to radiation. And there's a process, I think the Chinese call it cupping. It's very light rubbing, like right about here. With even if you take off the top of a shampoo bottle, it's sort of a semi-rough, and you just go back and forth. Like you'll be kind of like, for me, like if there's something wrong with my body, I'm so sensitive, like I know where it is. And so when I get too toxic, I know where to detox. And I can show you in a picture the results of when all that toxin came up. It's pretty shocking. And when you think that was under my skin, what could have happened if I did not bring it up? And it's like cupping, but it's a little bit more aggressive. I think the cups, the Chinese, they pull. This is the same. You're sort of like aggravating the surface of the skin to pull up toxins. And I'm going to try to post a picture of the results. Both time I travel, when I got back, I had to seriously detox. Most of I hope everybody's shielding. That it has to be metal. The aluminum, I guess tinfoil is probably the cheapest. Some people, and I have a Target friend in Texas who sent me a picture of her where she sleeps, and I sent her a picture